Chair, fellow speakers and guests. The F2, or even the A2, the advanced one, is storytelling and narrative. And the aim of it is to share your experiences and convey information or give a lesson or just entertain people. It can be either fiction or it can be from real life. And make it interesting and try and use all the skills which we've built up to before we got to this level. Gestures and voice control and speech construction, those sort of things. Now the speaker started off with a good opening. He actually started off doing that. He started describing what he was going to do. He said stories I can't even write it, but he said something like, stories are the tools of learning and entertaining. And I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me, which is about my little green book. So he told us first what he was going to be about, which is good construction. Then he went into it all. So he had a good opening there. And he described the Cornish sky. The speech was all about gliding, learning to, I don't know if you call it piloting, but learning how to drive a glider. And he was only 16, which we found out at the end. I was surprised about. I was imagining him as he is now, and I thought he'd done it last week or something. But no. So the story built up as he went along. And he said, he described the sky, it was descriptive, an airfield, and the straps clonking noisily. There's a bit of noise there, and description. And then he changed his voice to put a bit of voice in, which is the F5 level. Off you go, boy. I can't do it, but he did it. He spoke softly. And he did a few loud things. Take out the slack! And nearly, frankly, I was upset. Another thing was 900, 900, 900! And he built up, so he used his voice. And I've heard the speaker speak before, and sometimes he speaks quietly. And I was interested to see how he'd do this. He didn't speak quietly at all. He spoke really nice tone that you could hear and understand every word. He was enunciated better than I'm doing. So he was enunciating well, and it was good control. So that didn't distract from the story. He listened to the story, and he built up. And he used gestures as well. Flight checker, and before going into the glider. And at one point he had sweaty palms, which is what you get when you stand up here doing evaluations. He probably had sweaty palms for real when he was doing this. And this pulling the stick kept coming up about the rudder, pulling the stick and doing various things with it. I don't know how many things you can do with a glider stick, but it seems you can do quite a lot. And then when he landing, there was another big, I won't frighten you again, but there was a big loud one, BAM! That he really, I think the walls reverberated for that one. But it was good. He used lots of gestures and eye contact. He looked at everyone, did eye contact. So, sorry, John, I'm just pointing at you. You're the only one who's not looking.
I'm looking with that eye.
You got the ones at the back of your head as well. So there was use of body as well. So use the arms, the body, the head, everything really for gestures. So the gestures were good, and the voice was good. The construction was good. It flowed all the way through, from pre-flight right through to landing, and he described the view from the glider as well, which is what you see before you land, which was quite difficult landing, and you could actually imagine him struggling with this landing. I could. I thought it was quite descriptive there. And to end it up, he had an epilogue. He said, right, weeks later, I got this little green book, and he pulled out the little green book, and you could see it, and then he said, I was only 16 when I did this. So the fact he's kept it all this for the last 10 years, 20 years. He still brought it out. It obviously brings back memories, and he's proud of it, something that he achieved. And so that was a good ending, really. And the final words were, I was just 16, but this will always be my little green book and my story, he said, which was good. So the story is there. From the beginning to the end, he wrapped it all up nicely. I thought it was very good. You always have to have learning points on these, and I forgot about that until after, when I was writing my notes. I wasn't watching out for those because it was such an interesting speech. So when we got the timing, it was 8:15 and he did it in 8:23. So he's 27 seconds short. So the learning point is maybe at one of those points you could have just done something a little bit slower to finish on your right time without just nitpicking, really. So I thought it was a really good speech, very good speech, and I'm delighted that you can go on and do the next one, the A3.
Thank you, John. Well, there we go, David. Thank you very much for your speech on gliding. Now onward and upward.